Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Invincible Iron Man from the Black Panther wave of Marvel Legends. Now, this is an Iron Man figure that I was actually looking forward to for a little while now. I kind of like this design overall, and I've heard some people say this is the best Iron Man figure they've made. And I can't figure out how they decided that. This does do some things pretty well. I like a lot of the things about it, but there's one glaring issue with this thing that just really knocks it off that pedestal, I think. So we're going to talk about all of that. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 17 and a half centimeters, which makes it pretty close to 6 3/4 inches. So it's not too short. That's a good thing. Sometimes the Iron Man figures are too short. Now here's the really good thing about this figure. Other than it has a handful of accessories, which we'll get to in a second, it has a decent paint job. Now you're probably thinking it looks like it's just molded in red with a little bit of gold. And that's mostly true, but we do have a little bit of gray in here. We have a lot of gray around the armpits. We have this nice kind of, it's not really panel lining, but the silver on the tops of the hands, just little bits like that. It makes it look really nice. We have that extra gray in the shoulder area, so it's a little bit better detailed than some of the figures we've seen. However, we've seen some Iron Man figures with a whole lot of detail coming from Hasbro, so this one, it does seem kind of bland. Now I know the design itself does not have a whole lot of detail in it, so that's okay. That's not a big deal. The big deal on this guy is the overall aesthetic, the proportions, just the way they put it together. He's got a very, very thick lower torso and a very narrow upper torso, and it just makes him look totally wimpy. His shoulders do not look big enough, especially his chest area is not broad enough. And then if you look at his legs, his feet are as wide, if not wider, than his thighs. It totally destroys any sort of heroic look. He looks like a little kid wearing his dad's clothes. It just looks, it's got totally weird proportions. And that really destroys it. You really need to have that V shape for a superhero, and this guy really doesn't have it. In fact, some of him is like A-shaped. He's pear-shaped, which is just, it really kills the look. It looks like a cartoon version, like a bad cartoon version of the suit, which is just very unfortunate because mostly everything else on this thing is really good. So let's go ahead and talk about the accessories. We do have two different heads. We have the helmeted head, which I think looks really, really nice. And then we have the unhelmeted head, which, I mean, it's done well enough, but it does have a very cartoon look to it. If that's what they're going for, that's fine. No big deal, really. It's definitely good enough. We do have two different sets of hands. We have two fist hands, and then we have two repulsor hands. Now, the repulsor hands only have holes in them, so you can only use them with the blast effects, which is okay. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but they also don't have any articulation, so you can't really do any sort of posing other than a straight-up repulsor blast. Again, that's not really a problem. It's just something to note. And then we have this kind of gun thing that snaps onto his arm. You can put the repulsor blast in there if you want to, and it's just a giant chunk of red plastic. So, I don't know, not the best batch of accessories, but it's definitely good enough. So as far as the articulation goes on this guy, well, he can't really look up too far, and that's kind of strange because they could have easily just given him a little bit of extra range right there, but they didn't seem to want to do that, so that's kind of a problem. He does look down a little bit, side to side, of course, no problem. No leaning side to side, though. And that's mostly just because the head actually sits on the neck properly, so that's really good. As far as the shoulders go, they tuck in when they go up, but they still don't go up very far. So we don't have the best range in the shoulders. Full rotation, that's no problem. Bicep swivel's okay. Double jointed elbow works nicely. Wrists have a swivel. The fists do have a hinge on them, but the repulsor hands do not. We have an ab crunch which goes back one notch, which is okay. It's not the worst we've seen. It's actually pretty decent. And it goes forward one notch as well. And that's okay. It's not too bad. The waist twist on this guy obviously works just fine. I don't think we've ever had a waist twist problem. I don't think so anyway. Splits, not too bad. I think that's okay, especially for Iron Man. That'll probably be good enough. Bringing the leg forward. It does kick it out to the side a little bit, but it works pretty well, so that's okay. No range going back, really. Thigh swivels just fine. Double jointed knees. Not the best looking knees. They put that cavity in there to tuck the knee in, which they really just don't need to do. I wish every company would stop doing that. There's no need to tuck the kneecap inside the thigh and give yourself that big old cavity in there. but it's not the worst we've seen, so that's okay, I guess. The ankles, that one doesn't want to move, and they're known for breaking, so let's not do that. This one goes all the way back, literally all the way back, and really far forward. That's a really nice ankle hinge. It's a shame that one's stuck. As far as the ankle rocker goes, yeah, it still swings off at a pretty severe angle, but it does work, so that's nice. And you can get another example of the nice paint job with the gray for the sole, the gold, and then the red. So yeah, I mean, this figure's so close to being really solid. I mean, I could look past the knees and the shoulders and things like that if it had really nice proportions. I mean, just look at that. Look at that, the way his chest actually sticks out for pecs. Like, he actually has pectoral muscles there. And here, none, literally none. No heroic shape at all, so that's a big problem for me. But otherwise, it's not too bad, so I guess I could see why people would like it, but I don't know, that just kills it for me. So I don't know, you guys can let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. That'll do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the meantime, keep collecting.